here. This is Sean, and I'm here with Brad.
Hey.
And Rita Welsh, who is the museum director for the Tillamook Air Museum. We are in Tillamook County, Oregon. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, this place is amazing. This is really cool. I mean, how do you just come to work when it's closed? Do you guys jump into the planes?
Some, but we're not allowed to get in all of them. No, we spend a lot of time when we're closed cleaning and doing stuff we can't do when we're open.
Walked around, and this is very interactive. Some of them that you can walk, like that one plane from 1973, you can walk through and see how air travel was tolerable at one point in human history.
No, it looks like it was even like not just tolerable, but pleasurable.
Yeah.
See that food?
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Sadly, my curator, Christian Gerling, couldn't be here today, but he really has been the heading force of our exhibits being more interactive. So his tagline that I always hear him say whenever we do stuff like this is interpretation through interaction. So the more involved you get, as we see people moving into a new realm, people don't want to stop and read the traditional reader boards, the velvet rope over exhibits. It just
I thought it was awesome. And you have more opening coming like this spring.
Yeah. So we acquired a B-52G cockpit Stratocruiser, and that will be opening April 1st, actually. We're going to have a grand opening. So we have big plans there. Christian found the woman who originally christened that aircraft. She was Miss Bangor, Maine. She is going to come out and rechristen the opening of the cockpit. He's
That's
also
exciting.
Yeah. He's got a couple of pilots coming.
And from that aircraft?
Yeah. Yeah. So he's got big things planned. We're going to try and get the choir out here to do like the Star Spangled Banner and the Air Force song. Yeah. And then just have like the mayor and some other representatives around. But it'll be a free day for all. That'll be an open cockpit. So we're excited.
What choir are you talking about? Not a military choir.
So when they originally christened that, they had the high school choir of Bangor, Maine there. So we're going to have the Tillamook High School choir if they have time.
I saw you have a pretty good military discount. Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah. We do have the discount for admissions. Yeah. And then we have several free days as well. So like Veterans Day, Memorial Day is a free day for veterans as well. Things like that. So.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot. That's awesome. We're trying to get more veterans to do stuff like this. And I saw a picture of Marilyn Monroe holding a propeller.
We rehabbed that. That's a gunner drone from World War II. And so part of that reader board, we put Marilyn Monroe on because that's where she was discovered, was in a factory creating those drones. So that is one of the photos of her for a magazine article about women working in the war. And that was like where she got discovered. So we thought that was kind of a neat piece of history.
It was
that
cool.
Is neat.
Nice little photo.
And you have one of those drones in the museum.
Yeah.
I was blown away that they had drones in World War II.
Yeah. So they were used for target practice.
Yeah.
So they were like remote controlled from the ground, and then they were shot into the air and then shot. So there's actually not very many in existence just because most of them were destroyed.
That's a credit to the anti-air gunners.
Yeah, that's the one that I was supposed to hit, and I just missed it. That would be horrible at that stuff. Some of those planes I wouldn't want to get into. In fact, one of them says experimental right inside the cockpit. I'm like, I don't want to find that stuff. And then you have one where John Denver.
Yeah, we saw that.
Flying. Mm-hmm. That's tough.
It's the same aircraft, the same model of aircraft.
Yeah. Very same. There's skeletons in there. Actually.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Just kidding. That's horrible.
Well, so there's some controversy. So that's a little bit later model. So it basically looks exactly the same. But with that one, the one that John Denver was in, is they suspect he didn't have enough fuel to begin with. But then where you had to reach behind you to go to your spare fuel tank. And they think when he did that, he lost control. And that model that we have is actually the updated where the lever is below you. So you don't have to turn around to get to it.
So that's the post John Denver model.
Yeah.
They were very, very popular when John Denver flew them until he died.
Why? The propeller's on the back instead of the front. It seems like they put it in the wrong spot.
We actually scouted out a few other places to do this podcast from in your museum. And if there was enough room in the bunker.
Yeah, the bunker.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah, the Anderson Area
room for 4 people to sit around a table in there.
What is that? I wanted to go inside. That's one of the things that's going to be open this spring.
Oh, so that is the Mount Hebo. So the Air Force during the Cold War had a radar detection system up on Mount Hebo, which is about 30 minutes south of Tillamook city proper. And so we have a veteran who's a volunteer, Ron Watson, and he kind of headed that. So they have like a whole cohort of retired Air Force veterans who were stationed at Mount Hebo. And so he asked if we could open an exhibit to kind of display that piece of history that's, military. And so we're working on that. So we're hoping to have that done by spring too. We don't have like a grand opening date for that one.
Mm-hmm. But what exactly was it? They were on the mountain with a radar?
Yeah. Yeah, so they had radar domes, and they were just stationed up there to keep track of, what they thought could be coming during the Cold War era. So they didn't see a lot of action or anything, but it was a kind of a neat little piece of history. And then they were like the tunnel. It snows up there. It's one of the highest points in Tillamook County. So they actually had to have those above ground tunnels so they could get from building to building because they couldn't move around without it.
We talked earlier about the attendance that you have in a year here. What is your attendance that you get in a year to this museum?
Yeah, so we see about 50,000 people a year.
In a rural county of Oregon. That's really impressive.
Yeah. I don't know comparatively to like Evergreen where they sit, but we see a lot. For Tillamook County, we're the second biggest tourist attraction besides the creamery. And so that's pretty impressive.
How you get a battle at creamery?
We can't.
Ice cream.
You probably get some of your visitors from the creamery.
Yeah. We get people who are, going to or from the creamery.
And so you guys do a lot of work with veterans?
We work with our Veterans Affairs office. So if they have any kind of event or need any support from us, then we're always there to jump in.
What kind of events do you do?
So we have a large Veteran Day event. So it's the largest one on the Oregon coast that I'm aware of. And so it's about 400 people or so where we have. So we help coordinate like the flyover. We help serve breakfast, coordinate with like the Boy Scouts and then getting some of the local talent around to have a band and things like that. So
what flies over?
F-15s, I believe, most of the time.
I was impressed you knew of our next two guests, the veteran services officers that are coming. You're not a veteran, correct? I
am not a veteran, no.
But you do know of the veteran services officers, and you know them by name and who they are.
Yeah.
And that says a lot about this museum's involvement with the veteran community.
Yeah, they've hosted the veterans event here for years. I mean, since the mid-90s. They're really great. They're a little bit younger gentlemen who've been the big headers for that. So it's great to see them here because they're doing a lot of great work in the community. And they're also, more active in trying to get veterans out to do things. And then they help support our grand openings of exhibits or different events that we have going on as well. So,
and you have a restaurant here that...
Oh, yeah. When's Fathead?
Yeah. So we lease to our cafe space to a place called Fathead Barbecue. So it's a small startup. They've been with us about a year and a half. It's two guys. So they do like Southern style barbecue. And then they also have like burgers and fries and stuff for kids. But they're really good. Their portions are huge.
Is it open today?
No. So they being that there's just two guys and we're in a really slow, it's, February. So they are planning to open in March, stay open hopefully through, November. One of the biggest things I'd like to promote is just, come out. We're a year round attraction. Mm-hmm. We do have stunted hours from October through May. But another thing to note too, is that we have a nonprofit associated with the museum for the outreach and promotion of saving the building. So the building itself is in good condition for being an 80-year-old wooden structure on the Oregon coast.
And the building's amazing. And I went to school for architecture. This is fantastic.
Yeah, just looking at inside, you're like, wow.
Yeah. So the Friends of Tillamook Air Museum, they're an outreach group. They do fundraising events for the, education and outreach of the building itself and the museum within. But we want to keep the building around for another 80 years. So if anybody's ever interested, you can find the Friends of the Tillamook Air Museum through our website at tillamookair.com and get involved in any way you feel that you would like to.
So thank you so much for taking time to sit here and talk to us. I love this place. I bought a t-shirt.
Well, yeah, thank you folks for having me. And I, hope to see you again soon.
Rogues Hill, second of the 503rd podcast here. We're in sunny Tillamook, Oregon at the Air Museum. And we're sitting here talking to two of the veteran service officers, Nick and Roland. And Nick Torres, I'm sorry, Roland, I didn't get your last name.
Easy Stone.
Easy stuff. That's awesome.
I love that.
So thanks, guys, for coming in and just talking to us. This is great. I mean, we've been here for a while, checked it out. You guys are here a lot, huh?
Yeah. So we have a VFW Veterans Day event here on Veterans Day. We have a breakfast, a ceremony. Last November, we honored our remaining World War II vets. We had 5 World War II vets here.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were pretty pumped about that.
That's awesome, man. You guys have a large veteran community in Tillamook County, right? How many veterans do you think? So
we have 2,500 plus veterans here in Tillamook. That's about 10% of the population.
That's
a lot.
It's a lot higher than average, right? What do you know what the national average is for veterans?
I just looked that up, and it's 6.4%. So you're almost twice the rate here in.
Wow. And why? Why do you think that is? Because in Oregon, there is no military base. I mean, there's National Guard, but there's no military base.
So Tillamook County, just like Lincoln County, Clatsop County, it's a large retirement community. So we see more Vietnam vets, Korean War, World War II vets. They're retiring here to the coast.
Versus you guys' story. You're not old.
Yeah,
that's what something that Rita was telling us about is like the other VSOs were older, but you guys are 2 young guys, Army veterans, right? And you're out here helping. So how did you guys get here?
When I got out of the Army in 2014.
What MOS?
I was in infantry. I was 11 Bravo. So when I got out of the Army in 2014, my mom, she's a nurse. She always vacationed here. She's like, let's move to the Oregon coast. And since I was broke and didn't have a choice, I was like, okay. So moved here, went back to school at OSU.
Used your VA benefits?
Yeah, I used post 9/11 GI Bill benefits.
That's a good GI Bill.
That's a good deal.
I had the Montgomery GI Bill when I got out of the military the first time in 99, and it was horrible. $600 a month, and that was it. That's all you got. No books, no allowance for rent or anything. It's all. But post 9/11, that's a good one. I completely agree. I did everything backwards. So I had a family to think about. So I used my post 9/11 GI Bill, got BH from that. And at the same time, I worked about 50 to 60 hours a week in the lumber industry to help support my family. While you're going to school?
Yeah, I didn't
That's
sleep
incredible.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet, man. How many kids do you have?
I got 2 kids.
And how old were they back then?
One was like between the ages of 0 and 4. And my oldest son was 7 back then.
You did not sleep at all.
Yeah, no, I didn't sleep a lot. Yeah.
Roland, how did you get here?
I actually moved up here in 2020. Was from Los Angeles, born there. Joined the military fresh out of high school.
That's where my military career ended, was Los Angeles. I was retired out of there.
Oh, okay.
What was your MOS?
I got suckered into being an MP.
Because
the MOS I wanted was
I was telling Nick,
full.
So I was MP for a couple of years too, so I don't hold it against you.
Yeah.
I went from being infantry, stealing the Brizards, MP, the Brizards, and then I became an MP and had to give them back.
I started there, did that for 6 years, and then made my way over to PSYOP, which is where I wanted to start.
Okay, that's great.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, so that was fun. But after getting out of the military, I never really liked Los Angeles to begin with, and I liked it even less then, but just kind of going through the motions. And I started a company in January of 2020, right before the COVID pandemic.
Oh, no.
So
what's the company?
it was a media company for photography, videography, stuff like that.
Oh, that stuff. He does a lot of photography.
I do the photography.
I pointed. It's not good for podcasts.
I am not. I'm learning. I have a book on the way.
But yeah, so.
And so how'd you end up here in Tillamook?
Well, I took that as a good opportunity to get out of Los Angeles, and we just kind of looked up and down the coast. I have a disability that kind of requires me stay within the climate that the coast here offers. So
it's nice.
between here and Washington, nice. And just kind of ended up picking here.
That's good. So how did you guys, now you're veteran service officers, you help vets?
Continuing to serve. That's fantastic.
So how did you end up doing that?
My predecessor, Bill Hatton, he was looking for an assistant VSO. I was working in the lumber mill industry. I'm like, man, I'm busting my butt. Yeah. I got to use my brain. I got to use my degree. And I saw that opening.
What was your degree in?
Business administration. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I got to use my degree. I'm really busting my butt here and doing a physical.
Work smarter, not harder.
Right. So I interviewed at the county and Bill Hatton gave me a shot. I got the assistant VSO job. And then 7 months later, he retired and I interviewed for his job. The rest is history.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
How about you?
Well, I originally filed a claim for tinnitus back in 2011.
Yeah, tinnitus sucks.
Yeah. But it took me about a year in Los Angeles to get an appointment to see a VSO. When I did, he basically treated me like I was a scam artist trying to get money.
What year was that?
2011.
2011. Damn.
So 3 years later, the tinnitus claim was approved.
3 years later?
In that time, I kind of familiarized myself with how claims work and how some of the VA benefits work and helped a couple of my fellow soldiers who were also getting out, get theirs.
So you did it on your own because you weren't getting the help that you needed.
Yeah.
It's such a lag. Wow. That's So you guys, right now, I mean, we want to talk about Tillamook, but talking about the hard time that veterans are having finding somebody, Clatsop County, where we live and we're based out of, does not have a VSO right at this moment. And I think they had one. We have about twice the population of veterans Tillamook does, right? Clatsop County.
Yeah, that's correct per ODVA numbers.
And so they usually might have one VSO. They had a VSO with an assistant and they gave them like 10, 20 hours a week, I think. How many VSOs do you guys have in this county?
So we have 4 VSOs right now. We're looking to downsize to 3 VSOs just so our funding source is more sustainable.
Right.
Because eventually with 4 VSOs, we're going to run out of money.
Right. Okay. I got you.
In probably like 5-10 years time, just looking at the long-term financials.
And you guys work directly for the county?
Yeah, we work directly for the county.
County employees.
Yeah. Unlike Clatsop County, they have a contract with Clatsop Community Action, and they're one of the only counties that have their VSO programs run that way.
And they only have one VSO and they run it through a nonprofit instead of through the county. And it just, hopefully we want to try to fix that. We're going to try to, that's what we want to talk to you guys about. Like, how did you get the funding to have 4 VSOs?
Per Oregon state law, a county can put a ballot measure on like the May or November ballot to fund a veteran service office. And that's what we did. We started doing that in 2012. To give a little history behind the veteran service tax levy, this idea was taken before the county commissioners way back when it was unpopular. So 200 plus veterans showed up to the county courthouse.
Oh, that's what we need to do.
Yep. 200 plus county veterans showed up to the courthouse. My predecessor, Bill Hatton, who was a colonel at the time, Marine colonel, showed up in his dress blues and testified in front of the county commissioners. And the follow-on actions were, okay, you got to get so many signatures to get it put on the ballot. It wasn't just like, okay, we're going to put it on the ballot, which the county commissioners have the power to do. And so they got the signatures. It was put on the ballot in May and it didn't pass. And it was put on the ballot again in November and it passed 2012.
So that was pretty narrow that it did go through, at least that it didn't make it the first time, but it had to go a second time.
Yeah, initially it didn't go through the first time. The second time it passed with flying colors. 2017, it passed by 71% yes votes. So it passed by a lot. And when we renewed it in 2022, it passed by 62% yes votes. And we actually asked for an increase from 5 cents per 1,000 assessed tax dollars to 7 cents per 1,000 assessed tax dollars. And that in Tillamook County, that comes out to about $370K annually.
People, I mean, I understand people like, hey, I don't want any more taxes, but we're taking care of veterans, right? But also, once you guys sit down with a veteran and you help them with their disability claim and whatnot, that brings in federal money into the county, right?
Right. So I did the math, and it's per year, we bring in about $12 million in just VA comp and pen, and another $12 million in VA healthcare benefits.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So that's $350,000 a year.
Yeah. So that's like
millions.
Yeah.
Into the economy here.
Yeah. Millions.
How would people
So you're not
no
just
to
taking care of the veterans, you're taking care of the entire county with that.
Right. It's an investment.
It is an investment.
And they turn around and they spend their money like in the county
where they live.
So,
they live.
Right. Yeah. And they're contributing to the local economy, not taken away from it.
Yeah, I mean, that's really great. We really, hopefully we'll emulate. I know you sent me some stuff. And like I said, Brad and I are meeting with a county commissioner on Saturday. We're definitely going to talk to them about this and see if we can't get it on the ballot. And when we finally do testify in front of all the county commissioners, you guys said you might come by and help us out.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely be there. I talked to my county commissioner liaison, and she's all for helping out other counties and veterans in other counties.
Well, it puts a burden on you guys, right? Clatsop County not having enough VSOs, or right now not having one at all.
Are you seeing clients from Clatsop County?
Yes, we're seeing clients. We're handling a lot of like their immediate needs. If it's like any time sensitive VA issues.
What kind of issues, huh?
So if they filed a claim prior and the VA needs more information, the VA will send a development letter. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times they'll give them 30 or 60 days to respond.
Oh, and there's no one to help them. What are they supposed to do?
Right, yeah. Exactly. And that's where we step in, and, we offer help. A lot of Vietnam vets that are in bad shape physically from Agent Orange exposure will, of course, help those veterans out.
Are you guys seeing more from, what was the burn pit bill that passed recently?
PACT Act.
The PACT Act.
Yeah.
Have you seen increase?
Yeah, quite a bit of people calling to ask about it even. We were originally going to do a huge ad campaign for it, but it turned out, we didn't really need to because we just kept getting nonstop calls about it. So that's a good thing.
And the VA is just sending out so much about it right now, too. I get a letter every week about the PACT Act.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of letters about the earplugs. You're like, get in this class action suit. And I know like everybody got like $5, except for the lawyers got millions,
Yeah, I think everybody in the country got those emails.
Yeah.
And the Camp Lejeune lawsuit.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone gets those emails too.
Yeah, we've gotten quite a few questions about some of those lawsuits, and unfortunately, some of those lawsuits can work kind of counterproductively towards VA claims.
Oh, really?
Just because, Nick, if you want to elaborate on that, it's
so you can't double dip. You either get a settlement via the class action lawsuit, or you get VA compensation due to your exposure at Camp Lejeune. You can't get both.
So, and they're not telling them that. They're just like, jump in, free money. And plus, they're not going to get that much money anyway.
No,
from the class action suit.
Yeah.
You can still file the VA claim, but the amount that you won through the lawsuit will be recouped through withholding of the compensation.
So Sean, that $5 you lost, you have to, you got to pay back.
I never signed up for that. Although I have really bad tinnitus, man. I'm with you. That is just,
it is awful.
Sometimes it's like an airplane, and if it was just like one tone, always the same, I think I might be able to deal, but it's always up and down. What other issues do we have here in Tillamook County for veterans? What are you guys seeing? Mostly, you said the population is mostly older?
Yeah, it's mostly retirees, coming to the coast to retire. So, yeah, we see a lot of these retirees. Everybody's living to be older nowadays. So they need like caregiver support. That's hard to come by. Especially if they don't have a service-connected disability at such a severe level. The VA will pay for aid and attendance, and then the veterans can turn around and pay for a caregiver. But there's a lot of veterans that aren't service-connected, and they need a caregiver So that's always a big issue here in Tillamook County.
That the whole population's getting older. Well, that's a ridiculous thing to say because of course it is. But I meant like the
every day
veterans. Like, I don't know, man. I just turned 50 and I get like AARP is sending me shit now. So.
Oh, they started like on my 45th birthday this weekend. They're just like, hey, happy birthday, AARP.
You're getting closer. Like, oh, man.
So if we can, and maybe we'll come back, but I'd like to turn the tables a little bit to the veterans that are here. What are some of the activities that you see them out there doing? Like, do you have any like vet breakfasts, or do you know of coffees that they meet? Where can veterans go to find some camaraderie in Tillamook County?
Because I'll tell you something I wanted to tell you guys, and let's see what you guys think about. We tried to go to the American Legion in Tillamook, and we got the address for it, and we're walking down 3rd Street, and we turn. And when we get there, we look up, it's a senior citizen center.
Yeah, the American Legion's disbanded. So there's,
okay.
Yeah.
That's why we couldn't find it.
That's why I couldn't find it on Google Maps.
Senior citizen center, which I thought was like it's hilarious metaphor because I was in a part of the American Legion in Portland. And back then I was like in my early 40s and I was the youngest guy by far in there. But we ended up getting more people. And it was really awesome. You know, we made it into like a food drive, a clothing drive. We even turned it into a homeless shelter for a little bit when it got really cold. And they almost pulled my charter because I had people in there spending the night that weren't veterans because we opened it up to everybody. Half of them were vets, but we're like, all right, whatever. The American Legion and different groups like that. I mean, we saw the Moose Lodge, the Eagles Lodge, and so
the Elks, I believe.
Elks. So it's a lot.
Yeah, they're all right there
in the same little area.
Yeah, the Lions in Rockaway Beach, they're pretty big. So a lot of our veterans are old timers. They'll meet at the Fern. They have coffee groups there.
That's where we had breakfast.
Yeah, they'll meet there. There's a table of them. You know, all the political figures. They'll go there and get the blessing of that table. That's the funny thing.
Oh, it's like the mafia,
right? They'll get their blessing. Yeah,
it's the South Slope Neighborhood Association.
Oh yeah, we have a South Slope Neighborhood Association.
Yeah, we have a little name that we like to call the group of old people, the older veterans. I call them the Tilluminati. But yeah, they're great. The thing with our county is because we have such a large veteran population. If you're not a veteran, there's a good chance that your family member's a veteran.
Oh, yeah,
or because the families are so close together here, your family friend who might as well be family, they could be a veteran. So a lot of the groups that we do have here, even the ones that aren't veteran focused, the various clubs, the groups, organizations, all of them have a pretty sizable amount of veterans. Mm-hmm. And they end up focusing on a lot of veteran needs too in the area.
Oh, that's good. So you guys are getting help.
Yeah. Oh yeah. From the Eagles, the Moose, the Lions, the Elks,
the whole zoo,
the whole zoo, all the animal groups. Yeah. The Elks, they have a Veterans Day dinner that I go to every year and speak. I spoke about the tax levy. I spoke about what services we offer.
What kind of services? Because people think VSO, and I'm sure doing claims is a big part of your job, but what other things do you guys do?
So besides the claims and appeals, we get veterans signed up for VA healthcare. We help arrange transportation to their VA medical appointments, even their medical appointments, their CMP exams. We do outreach. Say we're just sitting around. I don't say we sit around a lot, but say we have some downtime. We'll even take on other things, like we've helped veterans move before.
There's goods out of their house.
We've cut their lawns. If they're
you've mowed people's lawns, the veterans, if they need it.
Well, yeah,
gutters.
If their lawn was
because I'm an old vet and I need some help.
No, their lawns are like super overgrown.
Yeah.
So they're about to get fined by the city. Mm-hmm. So myself and Roland went in there with some.
That's awesome. You guys
tools
are
and
superheroes. That's good stuff.
Went at it, and it was an all day event. But that's what we do if we have downtime. We're never just sitting around. We're always busy. We're always on the hunt. Trying to help out veterans.
You already have like a return off that initial investment from the taxes, and you're making millions, man. I think you guys can have a couple days off. I think you guys are entitled.
We get our We get most of our holidays.
One project we're working on in particular, we're trying to get a veterans memorial set up between 101 South, 101 North, and First Street. There's like a little triangle of land there.
We drove by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be the Shell station. We're trying to get a veterans memorial set up there. A Vietnam veteran, he's also a city councilor. His name's Doug Henson. He's leading the charge on that.
That's awesome.
I'm kind of just like doing the grant application and helping him figure out how to get that veterans memorial up and running.
That's great.
Yeah, that's above and beyond your regular duties then.
Right. Yeah. And there's grants out there.
So
Squad leader was the best role ever. Were you guys up there? You get squad
No,
leader?
we're the E4 Mafia.
Yeah.
I love the E4
At
Mafia.
one point in time, for some reason, I was a weapons squad leader, and I was a E4, and there's E6s leading the other squads, and I was a E4
That's because
leading weapons squad.
none of us E6s wanted to carry that much weight. Man.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't.
Like I've been doing this for too long. My
Give it
knees
to
are
the
worse
guys
than
with the
yours.
sham shield.
So what are some of the standout businesses in town that really seem like they support veterans?
Almost every business here. It's hard to find a business that doesn't have either some type of veteran discount or have some kind of collaboration with our office or with the other services around here.
I said we should have walked around last night. We
should
walked
have.
around this morning. It was pretty awesome.
But we had a good bonding moment last night talking through our own stuff. 'Cause
Yeah.
Sean and I haven't known each other that long. What are we at, like 4 months now?
Yeah, something like that.
4 or 5 months.
Because we were both kind of thrown on the steering committee together with veterans. And you're on the steering committee. I didn't even know that until I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw your picture on the website.
a lot of times I'll send one of our other VSOs, Heidi Rieger. She's been pretty involved with that.
I think Heidi was on last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Heidi-
said, you're on the steering committee. I should have said Nick is on the steering committee because no one's watching us.
So it was Heidi that said they had a tavern in town.
Oh yeah. So her family has like a meat and brewery shop. It's called Werner's. It's on Third Ave.
Werner's Beef and Brew,
A
right?
huge flag out front.
Yeah, a huge flag. Just look,
Maybe we should go grab
just look
something
up.
before we head back.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome, and they're really veteran friendly. On Memorial Day, they'll let the VFW come in and sell their poppies, and
Oh, that's cool.
they'll
that's
give
nice.
us all free lunch, and
Wow, that's good.
it's great.
Man, you guys, it's a good place, huh? You guys like living here?
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah, it's Tillamook County is, in my opinion, by far the most veteran friendly county.
Yeah.
In
It's
this
a good place to
area or
work
in
for
Tillamook.
veterans and
Yeah.
with veterans and for them.
Oh yeah.
Definitely comes with its own set of challenges for the veteran community here, but
Yeah.
yeah, everyone's trying to work together to.
But what are those challenges?
Well, one of the biggest ones is healthcare through the VA.
Yeah, do you guys have a clinic here at all?
No,
It's all in Portland.
we've asked about it, kind of poked at the idea, but
Right. We just don't have the population for, at one point in time, they asked my predecessor to help start a VA clinic here, but we just didn't have the numbers, to, I guess, in the VA's eyes, justify a clinic coming to
There's a
Tillamook.
rumor that one's going to be opening up in Astoria. Supposedly there's a building being built for a clinic. There was a clinic in Camp Rylea, and that's where I used to go. But we keep losing our nurse practitioners, and they don't put doctors out there. So yeah, you have to go to
And-
Portland.
Yeah, that's where we kind of step in, and we have 3 options for transportation to the Portland VA or the Newport Seabach or Camp Rylea. Our first option is we got the transportation department got a grant through ODOT and ODVA to drive veterans to their appointments as door-to-door service. Our second option is the DAV shuttle, and that's just appointments to the VA. And our third option is myself, Roland, or
You guys
Susan
drive.
Moran will just
How
show
many
up
times
to your
have you made
house.
that drive with
Oh.
the veterans?
A lot.
can't- yeah.
A lot.
more
But,
than I can count.
yeah, we'll just show up to your house and pick you up and take you to your appointment.
You're on the Together with Veterans Steering Committee. You're not yet, but we'll get you there. And so Nick is. Roland isn't yet, but we'll get him there. The main mission: prevent veteran suicide, specifically in rural areas. We thought this podcast would be out because we get information out to people. What do you guys think? How could we complete that mission?
What we did last year, we got about $4,000 from ODVA for veteran suicide awareness. And we took that money and we bought gun lockers from a local company. And we had a drawing, and about 75 veterans participated in that drawing. And, you know, our whole mindset behind that was, you know, we live in a rural county. Veterans love guns. They'll never give up their guns. Hell no. You know, that's just another barrier when they're not in the right headspace.
Right.
That's another barrier to get through. They have to like remember the combo to get to, you know, their weapon. And that just gives them more time to think. And we've seen those barriers in the past help prevent suicides, homicides. You know, I have a bunch of different stories where just those moments have helped prevent a terrible tragedy from happening.
But I mean, what else do you guys do?
So we also work with Tillamook Family Counseling Center with their crisis response team. Say there's a veterans in crisis, I'll show up to the scene, and if they're not acting, you know, too crazy or too violent, let's just go to the Portland VA and they'll do like a mental health intake and get you into 5C at the Portland VA.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to 5C, but I've known a bunch of guys who have, you know. Yeah, it's tough.
And yeah, we'll do that. I wouldn't say quite often, but maybe like once every 3 months we'll make a trip up there.
These Vietnam veterans that they are still dealing with PTSD, and maybe they haven't gone to the VA before because they were treated like shit a lot of times when they got back, you know.
Oh yeah, and that conversation like frequently comes up. And we reassure them, you know, the VA's changed, the American sentiment towards veterans have changed. And, you know, we want to take care of you. We don't want you to just be hanging out there and not getting the help that you've earned through, you know, your service.
So I have a 78-year-old uncle. He served before Vietnam, right before. He was in the Philippines, and he saw a bunch of horrible shit. When he got back, he's like, I don't know. He grew his hair long, grew a beard, and moved to the woods. When I moved up there, and I helped him out, I took him to the VA, got him a VSO, and he was living off of $900 a month, and that's it from Social Security. And he got like 60% from service connected from, you know, it was a tanker and shit. So, I mean, like, so that more than doubled his income. You know, the VA's there to take care of people now. I know it's not perfect by any means. It's like the largest bureaucracy on the planet. But I think you're right. I think it's changed, and there are people out there who really want to help veterans, and that's why they work with the
I've been out for about, 6 years now. My experience with the VA, which is extensive now, it's been a positive experience. Absolutely.
I mean, there's still going to be problems like you're talking about, Roland. They can't get an appointment for a year just for tinnitus.
It's still like that in a lot of places too, unfortunately.
And I have had to be my own advocate a lot of times. But, you know, like the mental health care that I get has been...
What's changed?
It's changed
2004, I got back.
Yeah.
I got blown up really bad in Taji, Iraq, and sent home. And then I was able to walk again. Katrina happened, so I went down to New Orleans. I just saw too much dead stuff. Dead people, people shooting at me. I mean, you have to shoot at them and shit blowing up around me. And I got out of the military in 2004. The place that they could send me that made sense to them to try to get me help was called the Mental Hygiene Clinic.
That's the worst name.
It's like, it's so impersonal, you know? It's like they tried to purposely make it impersonal. And it's like, and I went there, not one vet working there. I'm like, there's no veterans here. What the hell? You know, you know what I went through.
Right. Yeah. There's no peer support, and
but that's changed. I'm saying it's changed.
It's changed.
Right. Yeah, it's changed. And that's why we have, myself and Roland, both veterans working for Veteran Services. Our other two VSOs, our other two colleagues, one was a daughter of a Vietnam vet. So she knows what PTSD looks like.
She gets it.
Yeah, she gets it. And our other VSO, her husband was in the British Army. He's a major in the British Army. So he deployed to the Middle East and Turkey and all those places. So,
Your
everybody
entire team is Yeah.
Everybody has skin in the game.
Yeah, that's great. That's how it should be, you know.
So I got a little bit of a personal question for you guys, and you can dodge it if you want, but it sounds like you're both responding very quickly to people that are in a pretty bad place. Like you mentioned, somebody calls up with suicidal ideations, you're showing up and trying to help them. What do you do for your self-care? Because that's got to be a pretty difficult thing to step into.
How do you not take it home, too? That's another part of
what do you do for yourselves to make it through that?
I turn to religion a lot. You know, my rock bottom when I got back from Afghanistan, I was watching Roseanne through a smudged glass window in the Sierra Vista jail. I was like, you know, something has to change. And I turned to my religion, which is Christianity, and my belief in God and his son, Jesus Christ. And my life just changed from there and just started getting better and better and better. And, you know, as I see veterans with mental health episodes now, yeah, it kind of takes me back to that place where I don't want to be at. But, you know, my mission's to help them. And I'm hyper focused on my mission.
That's great.
To a point where my wife gets pissed that I work so much and is so involved in things. So, you know, I just always put the mission first.
So you say that's your mission. Would you go as far as saying it's your calling now?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely my calling. That was my intent the whole time I was going to college. I wanted to get out and be a financial investor and help veterans that way. But being a VSO is even better because you're making money for them with the government's money, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's better than that? Taken from the federal government and giving it to Tillamook County veterans. I hope the federal government's not listening, or the TSA.
They're listening. They're always listening.
Oh yeah, I know.
Roland, what do you do?
Thankfully, I have it pretty good. I live outside of the city of Tillamook, just around the hill over in Netarts. And a lot of times the weather is even completely different between the two places. It's about 12 minutes away, but it can be a totally different world. So as soon as I round around that hill, go around the corner,
you're like, let's go.
I found a way to separate the two, my private life and my work life.
So you don't give out your private cell phone number or anything? You're like,
no, I mean, there's, you know, we help out the VFW guys because we're also members of the VFW. So of course, some of them have my private information, but I would consider them friends as well as, you know, people that I work with.
And some of our clients are neighbors. So, that's just being a VSO in a small community. It's like you can't always escape those interactions, but.
Sure. What was the number you said? 10%?
Yeah, 10% of the population is veterans here in Tillamook.
Yeah, and I was just looking up, your county has about 27,000 people in it.
Right.
That's a lot of veterans.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, Clatsop County to the north and Lincoln County to the south, they have twice the number of veterans.
And no VSO down here. We got to try Lincoln County because since we've been doing this, somebody from Lincoln County did reach out to me like, we get help down here? I mean, what can we do? And I'm like, all right, we'll go down there and talk to somebody.
We'll make it down there.
But we got to try to fix Clatsop. Going there. Yeah.
And I make it clear, the VSO, it's a vacancy right now, which they're working on filling. But my interest is changing to a system like what you have here with a tax levy.
Yeah, I think that'd be the best thing.
Absolutely.
I mean,
have the county be.
We just have to show it's an investment with a return.
A huge return.
Like $350,000 into what you're talking about, $12 million.
Right. And just VA comp and pen. Yeah. And another $12 million in VA healthcare resources.
And you're not putting a huge burden on like the healthcare industry, right? I mean, so if a veteran right now doesn't have health insurance and he goes to a hospital, that money was absorbed somehow, or, you know, but if actually VA can pay for his healthcare or his or her healthcare, that's great.
Right. And the VA, if you're enrolled in VA healthcare, they'll pay for 3 urgent care visits a year for free. And any emergency care that you receive, they'll pay for that. You just have to let them know within 72 hours.
And that's getting better too. I mean, I tried to go through Veterans Choice for a while because I was living very rural up in McKenzie. And that was kind of a nightmare because you have to go to the VA and then you have to say, hey, I want to be, and you have to do your own appointment from a civilian doctor and then tell the VA about it. And then they decide whether they want it. I don't have too many complaints, but it's still a system that's it's huge. Like I said, it's a bureaucracy.
Is there anything that you guys want to share with us?
The up and coming stuff, the Veterans Memorial, that's going to be a big project.
How can people help out with that?
So the help we need now is monetary help, just funding. We're going to talk with the VFW fellows and see if we could start a GoFundMe page. All the monies for that's going to be managed by the TRA, the Tillamook Revitalization Association. They're a 501c3. Some donors out there that's looking for a tax write-off and you want to help veterans, the memorials in need of
Tillamook
funds.
Creamery, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, we're going to hit them up for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They told us just yesterday that they're very veteran focused.
Yeah, we went in there. They're like, we
That's
want to
great.
help out. So
yeah,
they might make
awesome.
it out of butter, but cheese. Nice cheese statue.
So when you do get the GoFundMe page started, make sure you send that to me or to Sean, and we'll share it too.
Put it up there on the Together with Veterans website too.
Yeah, and our Facebook, which is growing.
Yeah. We want to definitely, I don't know, we want to reach as many veterans as possible and let them know, like, hey, if you're, this is what I was thinking. Like when I was in a really bad way, I don't think there's anything anyone could have said to get me. But I know if I was in that bad way and then somebody told me like, hey, I'm here from the VA and I want to help you not, I was like, get out of here, man. But if we're trying to be fun and hey, you guys come on out to these cool places that we're going to, this air museum is pretty sweet. And it's $8.50 if you're a veteran. It's a great discount, and it's got the movies and all those models. You see those models, man?
In the back, yeah.
That the gentleman who did that put a lot of time into that.
Yeah.
That's my kid's favorite exhibit is those models. Yeah.
That's amazing. And then the interactive, you can climb into the cockpits over there. That's fun. It's so why not come out there? If you guys haven't, you should definitely go to the pro wrestling in Astoria. I
heard about that.
What was he saying? He did it out here, right?
No, I don't. He did it in Rainier.
Oh, Rainier. That's the other.
Which is by the Longview.
But yeah, it's fun, man. And CC Poison, he's the guy that kind of runs it. He's like a 80s glamour band guy, and it's kids are running around. You can bring your pizza and eat it. While you're eating, they'll slam the guy's head on the table that you're eating on.
That's awesome.
So, and one of the wrestlers is an Army veteran.
Yeah, and he won the heavyweight champ belt while we were there.
Yeah,
so
we got to interview him.
Yeah, that was a blast.
That's awesome.
Do stuff like that. You guys should go. It's fun. But
and they let
vets in for free sometimes.
Vets in for free.
Nice.
So many they let in, but I think when we were there, they let them all in for free. That's
the
last
Veterans
time.
Day one, all the vets. Last time was 5.
Okay.
5 free.
So if you're a veteran, show up early.
Yeah.
Because it is a business, so they can't let everybody in.
Yeah, but they're cool people, man. And Charlie Bravo, that's his stage name, the Army vet. He was actually so I was regular Army for 6 years, Schofield Barracks, and then Fort Drum. But National Guard for 6 years, down at Bravo Company 2162 out of Corvallis. And that's the unit that he was in. We didn't know that. It's awesome.
Oh, that's cool. So do you have your mountain tab?
Oh, I did.
Okay.
They said once you get it, your mountain tab, you might as well get it tattooed because you're not leaving Fort Drum. But I got out. I escaped. But I had to become an MP to do it, though. So it was a trade-off.
And I had the Arctic Sapper tab.
Oh, that's cool. I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
I've heard of a sapper.
It's only up there, but I went to sapper school and didn't quite make it. I didn't get enough goes in the field. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got a tab that's really not even a tab, but the corny guy.
Like mountain tab? It's not really a tab.
The same with the Arctic Sapper. That was to our battalion, and that was it.
Yeah, it's a tab that you hide because it's a sniper tab. So you hide it under your ACU pocket.
Well, you never want to be identified as a sniper. You're supposed to
Right.
be completely hidden, right?
Exactly. You don't want to let anybody know.
That's good. Where were you guys stationed at?
I was stationed at Fort Lewis for 5 years and then at Fort Huachuca for the remainder. Down near the Mexican border.
Arizona?
Yeah, Arizona. Southern Arizona.
Oh.
I was in a couple different places in California. Did some time in Korea at Yongsan. I think that's what it's called. I don't know.
I never was.
That was pretty cool. But yeah, that's the majority of it.
What's the most ridiculous thing?
Okay, so like when our new privates would come in, I was in a striker battalion. We would always have them get like an exhaust sample. So they'd be like,
Oh yeah,
they'd
we
get
did that too.
Yeah. Or if this is appropriate for the podcast, but
If it's
we would-
not, I can edit it.
Okay,
but
so-
it probably is
I think it all
appropriate.
is, yeah.
Okay, so we would have like the privates go up to like the female secretary at the motor pool and ask her if she had any like fallopian tubes in stock. And we'd get them every
My
time.
gosh.
So that's pretty funny.
Excuse me, ma'am. My sergeant told me to ask you for some fallopian tubes.
And some of the older privates, they'd of course be like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, you caught on to us. But
The
like
ones
maybe-
with kids that have learned about these things
yeah, the 18-year-old, 19-year-old privates, they'd go do that.
didn't pay
you know?
attention in health class.
Yeah.
That's great.
How about you,
Yeah,
Roland?
funny.
Yeah, a couple, I guess. Well, one of them was my my experience in Korea, somebody else's experience in Korea, thankfully. When I showed up there, we were all excited to go out and have a good time on our first night, but
Of course.
it was on lockdown when we got there, the entire base. And we asked why, what happened. And of course, something happened. And you know when you hear something and you automatically know that it was most likely an infantryman that did it. This was one of those.
Of course I know that.
So someone was off post after curfew, drunk in public, naked, directing traffic in a school zone.
Yeah, that's a
That
Saturday
sounds
night
like
for
an
an
MP.
infantryman.
Yeah.
He's directing traffic, so that's probably an MP, man.
No, I can't assign that to a branch. That could be about anybody. It's probably psyops.
Was he wearing his belt?
PT belt.
Was he wearing his PT belt?
If he
probably why he got in
had no
trouble.
PT belt, then he's out of uniform.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
we had like your exhaust samples, which we did that a lot. I was heavy construction for most of my engineer career, but we had, I'll leave his name out, but we had a very high maintenance private that we needed to occupy. I mean, I eventually chaptered him out for terrible things, but so we sent him out to all of our bulldozers to find the soft spots in the blades. So he was out there with a rock knocking on the blades of the bulldozer and then putting an X on the places that sounded different. I wish I came up with that, but that was, I will name the Sergeant First Class Heinzman, who's
That's awesome.
now the safety guy for the triple nickel up north.
Tripping.
Outstanding NCO.
We go land nav, right? Because we're light infantry. And that's how I broke in my new privates. I'm like, hey, man, I don't know where the hell we're at. Go shake that tree, and I'll see you where it goes on the map. Shake it harder, man. I still don't see it. They would do that.
So we sent a private out to go look for grid squares, classic.
Yeah, yeah.
But he came back from the supply sergeant with a box that said grid squares on it. And what this was, it was for ceilings that are hung, a suspended ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
It was the grid that they fit in. It was those metal beams.
They exist.
So he came back with grid squares.
Yeah. It's like
And we were amazed.
fluid or keys to the LZ. And,
Yeah, board stretchers.
yeah. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for taking time off. You could have been helping some other veterans. Hopefully, this podcast might help somebody sometime. I believe it has potential. So, thank you guys so much.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
Now get back out there and save somebody's life, guys.
Yeah, we're headed back to work after this.
Yeah.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Together with Veterans Northwest Oregon or the Oregon Firearm Safety Coalition or the Department of Veterans Affairs. You can find us at roguecell.vet or facebook.com/groups/roguecell. If you or a loved one is experiencing thoughts of suicide, help is available. Please call 988 and press 1 for veterans. This line is answered 24/7, so there is always someone to help. And with help comes hope, and hope saves lives. The second of the 503rd Rogue Cell is produced by Brad Peitzig with support from Together with Veterans and is hosted by Sean Davis. Music provided by Michael Dean Dameron. Thank you for joining us.